said, and I think it just needs to be said. Bruno Fernandes is Player of the Year in the Premier League this year. And if he doesn't get it, it is an absolute travesty. An absolute joke. He is comfortably Player of the Year. Just because Declan Rice and Gabriel are playing in a side that's going to win the league doesn't make them Player of the Year. He has single-handedly, in my opinion, taken Manchester United into the Champions League. I would happily give him 400 grand a week. I would happily give him 100 grand a week pay rise because I believe he is the player that will keep us in the Champions League next year, and get us in the Champions League this year. But if some people are still struggling to get their head around this, understand this. Bruno Fernandes has 16 assists in the Premier League this season. In second place is Turkey with 8. But not only that, he's created 98 chances this season. 98. The second place person is Turkey with 42. Not even half. In third place with 30 chances. Bruno's created 98. It's incredible. And on top of that, let me just say, he's also scored 7 goals this season. Now, you can scrutinise the league and say, creatively, the league's been crap this season, and it has. Long throw balls, direct free kick, set pieces, whatever. But Bruno Fernandes is 4 assists away from the all-time Premier League assist record. So whilst everybody else may be playing crap football, Bruno Fernandes is in a world of his own, and that should be championed. In the worst ever Premier League season I've ever seen, in relation to boring, fouling, slow flow, whatever, Bruno Fernandes should be championed over Declan Rice and Gabriel. I think Rice and Gabriel have done well. Bruno Fernandes stands as a light in a dark season for the Premier League, and that should be championed. If we want our football to be exciting and creative, then Bruno Fernandes should be championed as the standalone player in the Premier League this season who is actually that. Respect to Arsenal for winning the league. They will win the league. But they've got an amazing squad. Bruno Fernandes has done it in a United side that's not even that good, if we're being honest. It's a work in progress at best.
It's not something that I've dreamed about or thought about it. I always want to help the team to get the most of the game. Obviously, scoring goals and assisting is a big part of my game. And honestly, I'm very pleased that today worked out and made us win the game. And obviously, until the end of the season, I just want to try to help the team and keep improving on results-wise.
The debate is heating up across the football world, and one statement continues to echo louder with every passing week. If Bruno Fernandes doesn't win Player of the Year, it's an absolute travesty. It's a bold claim, but is it justified? The season that demands recognition for Bruno Fernandes. This campaign has been nothing short of extraordinary. In a season where Manchester United have struggled for consistency at times, their captain has been the one constant force driving them forward. Game after game, Fernandes has delivered when it mattered most. Whether it's a perfectly weighted through ball, a decisive goal, or relentless pressing in midfield, his fingerprints are all over United's best moments this season. He hasn't just played well, he has carried responsibility, leadership, and expectation on his shoulders. Statistics only tell part of the story, but in Fernandes' case, they reinforce what the eye already sees. Among the league leaders in assists, over 20 goal contributions across competitions, one of the highest chance creators in Europe, consistently involved in decisive moments. But beyond numbers, it's the timing of his contributions that stands out. Fernandes doesn't just perform, he delivers in big moments, often dragging his team through difficult matches. Leadership beyond the armband. What separates Fernandes from many of his rivals is not just output, but influence. As captain, he has embraced the responsibility of leading a club under intense scrutiny. At a time when questions have surrounded United's identity, Fernandes has been the embodiment of fight, urgency, and belief. His passion is visible, sometimes controversial, but undeniably impactful. For many fans, that alone elevates his case. The competition factor. However, awards are rarely decided in isolation. Players like Declan Rice have also enjoyed outstanding seasons, particularly within more stable and successful team structures. And that's where the debate becomes complicated. Historically, Player of the Year awards tend to favor those competing for or winning the title, playing in more dominant teams, benefiting from collective success. If that trend continues, Fernandes could find himself at a disadvantage, despite his individual brilliance. Individual brilliance versus team success. This is the heart of the controversy. Should the award go to the best individual performer, regardless of team position, or the standout player in the most successful team? If it's the former, Fernandes has a compelling case that's hard to ignore. If it's the latter, the decision may lean elsewhere. So, will he win it? The honest answer, he absolutely could. But it's not guaranteed. Fernandes has done everything within his control, delivered elite performances, produced consistent numbers, led from the front. But whether that translates into silverware at an individual level depends on how voters interpret value. Final verdict. If Bruno Fernandes misses out on Player of the Year, it won't be because he wasn't good enough. It will be because football, as always, balances brilliance with narrative. And that's why the word travesty continues to linger in the conversation. Because when you watch Fernandes this season, one thing feels undeniably clear. You are watching a player performing at a level worthy of the very highest recognition.